Hey everyone, welcome to The Bold and the Beautiful. I'm Oma, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Bold and Beautiful update, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. You ever watch someone push and push until finally, they cross the wrong person? That's exactly what happened with Luna. She thought she could control everybody. Will, Electra, even Bill and Katie. But then she went too far. 1 second she's taunting Electra, the next she's faking a crisis to trap Will with a baby that might not even be his. And that's when everything exploded. Friendships shattered, secrets came out, and sparks started flying between two people no one ever expected. Trust me, what happened next? It changed everything. And it might just leave you asking the same question we all are right now. Who's going to stop Luna, and how far will they go to do it? You ever watch a story so wild, you don't even know who to trust anymore? That's exactly what's happening on The Bold and the Beautiful. Luna Nozawa is dead, and the question isn't who hated her. It's who didn't. Everyone had a reason. Bill swore he'd take her out like the trash. Lee once tried to strangle her. Electra was the last one seen screaming in her face. Even Will, her victim, was broken enough to snap. This isn't just another soap twist. This is a full-blown whodunit. Did someone push her off a cliff? Did she get shot? Or did her own demons finally catch up with her? Stick around, because the truth about Luna's death might be darker than anyone ever imagined. Luna's death sparks explosive whodunit mystery. I don't even know where to start. Maybe with the moment I heard the news that Luna was dead. The call came late at night, the kind of hour when nothing good ever happens. I remember staring at my phone, her name flashing on the screen in a group text chain that had suddenly blown up. My first thought wasn't shock or grief, it was relief. And the second thought that followed close behind was guilt for feeling that way. You have to understand who Luna was. Or at least, who she had become. Once upon a time, maybe she was just a lost girl, struggling to belong, to find her place in this family that never really wanted her. But somewhere along the way, Luna crossed a line. She stopped being misunderstood and started being dangerous. And when I say dangerous, I mean the kind of dangerous that keeps you up at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if she's lurking just outside your door. The truth is, by the time she died, everyone had a reason to want her gone. That's what makes this so complicated. Her death wasn't a clean, tragic accident. It wasn't the kind of loss you cry about in a neat, Hallmark movie way. No, Luna's death was messy. It was ugly. And it left behind a trail of questions so twisted that even now, I don't know if we'll ever get all the answers. Let me back up. Will's shattered life. It started with Will Spencer. God, that kid never stood a chance. Luna saw him as a target, someone she could manipulate, someone she could use. And she did exactly that. She got him drunk, so far gone he could barely stand, and then she crossed a line you don't ever come back from. She pretended to be Electra, the girl Will loved, and took advantage of him. It wasn't just a mistake. It was a crime. When Will found out she was pregnant, I swear I thought he was going to break apart right there in front of me. His hands shook, his eyes darted around the room like he was searching for a way out. He kept muttering, "This isn't real. This can't be real." But it was real. Luna was carrying his child, or at least, that's what she claimed. The first thing he did was go to his parents. Bill and Katie were horrified, of course. Bill, being Bill, went straight to rage. He said the words I'll never forget, "I'll take her out like the trash." And the worst part? He meant it. He's done it before. Anyone who remembers Amber Moore knows exactly what I'm talking about. Bill Spencer doesn't just talk big. When he's pushed, he acts. That's why he shot straight to the top of the suspect list the moment Luna's body turned up. But Bill wasn't the only one with blood in his eyes. Lee Finnegan's ruthless streak. If you've ever seen Lee Finnegan when she's angry, you know she's capable of just about anything. This is the same woman who stood in an ER, holding Sheila Carter's life in her hands, and decided not to use the defibrillator. She would have let Sheila die if Finn hadn't barged in and stopped her. That's the kind of coldness Lee is capable of. And Luna wasn't just any girl to Lee, she was family. That's what made it worse. Lee had tried in her own twisted way to save Luna before. She thought maybe redemption was possible. But when she realized Luna was beyond saving, I think something inside her snapped. Just last week, Lee actually tried to strangle her. Bill had to step in to stop it. The look in Lee's eyes that day, I'll never forget it. It wasn't anger. It was determination. That's why when the news broke that Luna was dead, my mind immediately went to Lee. I pictured her, calm and collected, finally following through on what she'd almost done before. And I couldn't even say she was wrong. Electra's fury. But if we're talking motives, Electra had one of the strongest. When Will finally broke down and told her the truth, that he'd been drunk, that Luna had tricked him, that she was pregnant, Electra's world shattered. She was disgusted that Will hadn't told her sooner, but her real fury was reserved for Luna. I was there the night Electra stormed over to Bill's house. She was shaking with rage, her voice so sharp it could have cut glass. She didn't care if Luna was dangerous. She didn't care if she was pregnant. Electra wanted her blood. And honestly, who could blame her? The thing is, Electra isn't the kind of person who plans murder. But accidents happen. Heated arguments turn into shoving matches. Shoving matches turn into something worse. If Luna had taunted her, if she'd pushed Electra's buttons like she always did, well, I can see how things might have spiraled out of control. Remy, Deacon, and old wounds. Then there's Remy Price. He's a wild card in all this. His history with stalking Electra, the way he tried to justify it, it made people hate him. But lately, he's been trying to redeem himself. Killing Luna, the girl who hurt Will and poisoned everything around her, might have felt like his chance at redemption. And then there's Deacon Sharp. He's got his own reasons to hate Luna. She manipulated his friends, twisted Sheila's lies, and dragged Tom Starr and Hollis into her chaos. Deacon's not the man he used to be. He's worked hard to turn things around. But still, when you push someone far enough, you never know what they're capable of. Steffi's return. And then, just to stir the pot even more, Steffi Forrester came back. The minute she found out Luna was alive, and worse, that she had hurt Will, her fury was like a wildfire. This wasn't just about family pride anymore. It was about survival. Luna had already shot Liam once. She'd tried to kill Steffi herself, twice. For Steffi, Luna's existence wasn't just a problem. It was a threat to her entire family. And if you know Steffi, you know she'd do anything to protect them. Some people think she could have lured Luna to that cliff, pushed her over, and walked away without a shred of regret. All secretly wishing for the night it happened. The night Luna died. No one can agree on the details. Some people say they saw her leaving Bill's house, storming off after yet another fight. Others swear they heard a scream near the cliffside. And then there are whispers about a gunshot. When they found her body, broken and lifeless, the rumors exploded. Did someone push her? Did someone shoot her? Did she stumble and fall in a drunken rage? No one knows for sure. All we know is that she's gone. And here's the sickest part. Instead of mourning her, most of us breathed easier. That's the kind of poison Luna had become. Her death didn't leave a hole. It lifted a weight. But relief doesn't erase suspicion. Every single person who hated her, which was pretty much everyone, has become a suspect. Bill. Lee. Electra. Will. Remy. Deacon. Even Steffi. Everyone had a reason. Everyone had an opportunity. And now, the question isn't just who killed Luna, it's who finally had the guts to do what we were. When Luna cried out, clutching her stomach, the room fell into chaos. Everyone rushed to her side, except me. I stood there frozen, because something in my gut told me it wasn't real. It was too convenient, too perfectly timed after Electra had hit her. And the way Luna looked up through her tears, almost making sure we were all watching. That was the giveaway. Still, Will panicked. He dropped to his knees, begging her to hold on, asking if the baby was okay. And I swear, seeing him like that, so desperate, so afraid, it broke my heart. Because Will didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve to be trapped in Luna's web of lies and manipulations. They rushed her to the hospital, of course. That's where Lee got involved. Now, Lee isn't the type to let her emotions run wild. She's controlled, clinical, almost cold sometimes. But even she was shaken. She told me later, this whole ordeal has been a nightmare. Luna is dangerous, and if someone doesn't put a stop to her, she's going to ruin more lives than she already has. I couldn't argue with her. What made it worse was how Sheila reacted. You'd think she'd be horrified, right? Concerned for Will or even skeptical about Luna's timing. But no. Sheila's priorities were all about herself, about whether Deacon would forgive her for hiding the truth about Luna's supposed death. She barely even acknowledged the chaos Luna was causing. It was like she couldn't see beyond her own lies. That's when the strangest thing happened. Sparks started flying between Deacon and Taylor. I know, of all people, right? Deacon was reeling from Sheila's deception, and Taylor had just been rejected by Ridge again. Two broken people, nursing fresh wounds, suddenly finding comfort in each other's company. At first, I thought it was just therapy. Taylor trying to help Deacon process his anger. But the more I watched, the more I realized something deeper was happening. There were these small moments, the way Taylor's hand lingered on Deacon's shoulder when she reassured him, or the way his eyes softened when she reminded him he wasn't alone. I don't think either of them planned it. I don't even think they realized it at first. But grief and betrayal have a way of binding people together, and in that fragile space, they started to connect. And honestly, a part of me didn't blame them. They both deserved someone who would see them, who would listen without judgment. But while new bonds were quietly forming, others were breaking apart. Hope and Carter, that whole situation was unraveling fast. Carter had fought so hard for her, believed in their future, but he could feel her slipping back toward Liam. It was written all over his face, the exhaustion, the resignation. I overheard him once, telling Hope, "You should be with your family, Hope. I can't keep fighting a battle I know I'll lose." And he was right. You could see it in the way Hope lit up around Liam, the way Beth's little smile seemed to heal cracks Carter could never reach. It wasn't fair, but sometimes love isn't. Meanwhile, Luna kept spinning her lies tighter. She insisted she and Will were destined, that the baby was their chance to start over, that Electra was just jealous and trying to tear them apart. She looked Will dead in the eye and said, "You'll see. We'll be happy together. You, me, and our child." The worst part. Will looked conflicted. He hated what had happened, regretted every second of it, but there was a piece of him, maybe the part that feared losing his child, that couldn't walk away completely. And Luna saw that weakness. She fed on it. Katie, on the other hand, was relentless. She wanted custody of the baby. She said she wouldn't let Luna raise a child in her toxic world. At one point, I heard her and Bill arguing late at night, voices raised so loud you could hear them through the walls. Bill wanted Luna out of the picture entirely. Termination, prison, whatever it took. But Katie, she wanted the baby. She wanted to give that child a stable home. And I couldn't help but wonder, was she fighting for the baby's future? Or for her own second chance at motherhood? The Spencers weren't the only ones with opinions. Lee considered stepping in too, claiming she could provide for the child if Luna was deemed unfit. But how could she, when she was still hiding from the truth of her own choices? Like faking Luna's death and harboring secrets that could put her behind bars. And then there was Sheila. God help us all if she ever got her hands on that child. The truth was, nobody was thinking about what Will actually wanted. He was drowning in guilt, trying to explain to Electra how Luna got him drunk, how he never intended for any of this to happen. He kept saying, "You have to believe me. I didn't choose her. I'd never choose her over you." But Electra, she'd been through too much. Every time she looked at him, I could see the doubt in her eyes. She loved him, yes. But could she forgive him? Could she stand by him knowing Luna would always be lurking in the shadows with this baby as her weapon? And me. I stood in the middle of it all, watching as people I cared about fell apart piece by piece. I felt powerless, like I was watching a slow-motion train wreck I couldn't stop. But here's the thing about people like Luna, they always push too far. They don't know when to stop. And when they finally cross the wrong person, well, that's when sparks really fly.